The Capra goats live in some of the most difficult and dangerous mountain habitats on the face of the earth. To complete a Capra World Slam of 12 from the above-mentioned list is one of the most difficult, physically challenging accomplishments in the mountain hunting world. Tonight, we want to honor several individuals who have reached this milestone. Ben Barnett of Texas finished his Capra World Slam with an Alpine Chamois from Austria in 2022. Some of Ben's earlier Capra trophies go back to his New Zealand Chamois taken in 2016. And then in 2018, he traveled to Spain to take all 4 Spanish Ibex. We'll finish up with his Bezoar Ibex taken in 2019 in Turkey. Colorado's Jack Cabala began his quest for the Capra World Slam in 2016 when he took a Pyrenean Chamois. He reached number 12 on his journey for the Capra Slam in 2021 on a hunt in Spain, where he took 2 Ibex, the Bassetti and the Grados. Along the way, Jack took a Gobi Ibex in 2019 on a hunt in Mongolia and scored an Alpine Chamois that very same year. Next, we call Simon Devos of Belgium to the stage to receive his Capra World Slam. Simon had to travel to British Columbia in order to get an American mountain goat for his Capra Slam. His other Capra animals were taken closer to home. His Grados Ibex was taken in Spain in 2019, and his New Zealand Tar was taken in 2022. One of Simon's earlier trophies was a Mid-Asian Ibex taken again in 2016. Next, we call up John Fiddler of Manitoba to the stage for his Capra World Slam. John traveled to Kazakhstan in 2014 and found success taking a Premier Ibex. John has both the Pyrenean and Cantabrian Chamois from Spain, as well as 2 of the Ibex found there. We chose his Grados to represent those, and we'll finish up by showing you John's impressive Bezoar Ibex from Turkey, which he took in 2019. Now let's recognize Michigan's Thomas Kuhaistra. Thomas finished his Capra World Slam with a Balkan Chamois taken in Macedonia in October 2022. Tom's first Capra species was taken in 1993 in Alaska, that being an American mountain goat. He traveled to Spain in 2019 and took both the Grados and Bassetti Ibex that you see here. Finally, we'd like to show you one of Tom's earlier Capra trophies, a Gobi Ibex taken in Mongolia in 2004. Now let's call Victor Lopez of Mexico to the stage for his Capra World Slam. We'll begin with his presentation with a Mid-Asian Ibex from Kyrgyzstan taken back in November 2011. Victor has all 4 Ibex and 2 Chamois found in Spain, and we chose his Bassetti to represent that country. Victor scored on a Balkan Chamois in Romania in November 2022, and in March 2023, he traveled to New Zealand and collected both the Chamois and Tar found there. GSCO's Executive Director Jason Price of Texas is next up to receive his Capra World Slam Award. Jason started his quest in 2015 when he took a New Zealand Chamois along with a New Zealand Tar. 1 year later, he traveled to Turkey and took his Bezoar Ibex. 2019 found Jason in Spain, where he took both the Grados and Bassetti Ibex. He finished his Capra Slam in 2023 with an Alta Ibex taken in Mongolia. It was a Pyrenean Chamois from his home country of Spain, taken in May 2023, that earned Igor Shevchenko the Capra World Slam. Backing up, you see one of Igor's earliest Capra trophies, the Altai Ibex from Mongolia, which he got in 2011. Moving closer to the present, in November 2023, he took a Low Tatra Chamois from Slovakia, and later that same month, he traveled to Uzbekistan to get his impressive Bukodan Markor. Igor's award is being accepted by Veronica Cornea. Cynthia Smith of North Carolina started her Capra World Slam with an American mountain goat taken in British Columbia in 2009. In 2016, she was in New Zealand and scored on both the Chamois and Tar found there. In 2019, she traveled to Turkey and got her Bezoar Ibex, and then in 2023, she was able to complete her Capra Slam on a trip to Spain, where she took the Southeastern and Ronda Ibex. Next, we'd like to recognize Mark Sullins of Georgia for reaching number 12 on the Capra list. 2017 was a busy year for Mark. In September, he hunted in Austria to collect his Alpine Chamois, and that same month was also successful in taking a Balkan Chamois in Macedonia. In November 2017, Mark traveled to Spain to get all the Capra species found there, including the Ronda ibex. We'll finish up by showing the Bezoar ibex from Turkey Mark took in February of 2022. It was a 10-year journey from start to finish for David Turchansky of British Columbia to achieve his Capra World Slam. Dave hunted in New Zealand in 2013 to get the chamois and tahr found there. In 2014, he collected an American mountain goat from his home province of BC. Moving closer to the present, Dave traveled to Mongolia in October 2023 and got both the Altai and Gobi ibex. He reached number 12 on the Capra list in November 2023 with the Cantabrian chamois from Spain. We now want to recognize Belgium's Bernard van Milders for his Capra World Slam. Bernard finished his Capra World Slam in 2021 with a Sind ibex taken in Pakistan. He started his quest with a Sadie ibex back in 1996. Moving closer to the present, Bernard traveled to Kazakhstan in 2019, where he scored on a mid-Asian ibex, and in 2021, he hunted in Switzerland, where he connected with an alpine chamois. That completes Group 1. There are those who continue to hunt the difficult Capra goats even after their original 12. For the tough of mind and body who do this, there are the milestones of the Capra Super 20, Super 30, and Super 40, and we'll honor some of those people here tonight. It was a 19-year journey from start to finish for Gary Adams of Michigan to reach number 20 on the Capra list. His Capra 20 quest began with an American mountain goat from Alaska in 2004. 2 years later, Gary connected on both the New Zealand chamois and tahr. Moving closer to the present, Gary made his way to Mongolia in 2022 to get both the Gobi and Altai ibex. We'll finish up with Gary's presentation with his alpine chamois and alpine ibex from Austria, taken in August of 2023 to round out his Capra Super 20. Michael Scott Ashbrook of Louisiana is up next, and he achieved his Capra Super 20 in October 2022 with a mid-Asian ibex from Kyrgyzstan. Scott connected on an impressive Bezoar ibex on a hunt in Turkey in 2018, and the following year he traveled to Austria and took his alpine chamois. The Bukharan Markhor is next for Scott, and he got it in Tajikistan in December 2020. We'll finish up by showing you Scott's Himalayan ibex from Pakistan, taken in January of 2023. One of the earliest Capra trophies from Denmark's Thomas Buchholz was taken on a multi-species hunt in New Zealand back in 2013 when he collected both the tahr and chamois found there. Moving along, Thomas has all the Capra species from Spain, and we chose his southeastern ibex to represent those. Thomas collected a Himalayan ibex from Pakistan in April of 2021 and in August 2022, which took both the Kuban Western and Mid-Caucasian turf from Russia. Finally, you see Thomas with his great Sind ibex in Pakistan, which he got in December of 2022. Mario Canales Jr. of Mexico is up next for Capra Super 20 recognition. We'll begin with his Dagestan Eastern turf from Azerbaijan, taken in August 2013. Mario traveled to Mongolia in September 2016 to get both the Gobi and Altai ibex. You see his Cantabrian chamois from Spain, taken in November 2019, and on that same hunt, he collected his final ibex from Spain, the Ronda ibex. We'll wrap up Mario's Capra Super 20 presentation with his Chartreuse chamois from France, taken in November 2019. We'd like to invite Eddie Dankers of Belgium to the stage to receive his Capra Super 20. The trophy that got Eddie to this milestone was an impressive Bukharan Markhor from Tajikistan, taken in 2021. Backing up, you see Eddie with his alpine ibex from Switzerland, taken in November 2013. He hunted Himalayan tahr in Nepal in May 2017, and his pair of Carpathian chamois from Romania were taken in November 2020. Wrapping up, you see Eddie with his amazing Bezoar ibex from Turkey that he got on a hunt in 2021. Next up for Capra Super 20 recognition is Kevin Klumper of Washington. Kevin's really been after the world's wild goats the past few years and has taken some pretty impressive trophies. First, you saw his Anatolian chamois from Turkey, taken in October 2020, and the rest of Kevin's trophies all came in 2022. His Sadie ibex and Mallorcan wild goat were both taken in Spain in November, and in December, Kevin did a multi-species hunt in Pakistan. There he collected both the Sind ibex as well as the highly desirable Kashmir markhor. Mykola Koval of Ukraine is quickly closing in on the Capra Super 30, but has only been pursuing the world's Capra species for the past 3 years. Talk about a lot of hunting. You've been seeing some of Mykola's Capra trophies that got into the Super 20, and they include his Bukodan ibex from Tajikistan and his Alpine ibex from Austria, both taken in 2022. Moving along, Mykola scored on a Kri-Kri hybrid ibex in Croatia in March 2023, and in June he traveled to New Zealand to get his chamois and tar. We'll finish up with Mykola's Altai ibex from Mongolia, taken in August 2023. Veronica Cornea will be accepting Mykola's Capra Super 20. Now let's call Alan Mackey of Tennessee to the stage for Capra Super 20 recognition. Al's Capra quest began back in September 1997 with an American mountain goat from Alaska. Next up is Al's Sind ibex from Pakistan, taken in February 2009, and in December 2009, Al traveled to Spain and got his last Capra species from that country, the southeastern ibex. Al hunted for coarse chamois in France in February 2023, and later that same year, he hunted in France once more and added the chartreuse chamois to his growing Capra list as he makes his way toward number 30. It was a Pyrenean chamois from Spain taken in November 2022 that earned Utah's David F. Myrup the Capra Super 20. Dave hunted the Caucasus Mountains of Russia in August 2008 and was successful in taking both the Kuban Western Tur as well as the Caucasian chamois found there. Moving along, Dave connected on an Alpine ibex in Switzerland back in November 2011, and in December 2018, he traveled to Spain and was successful in harvesting Mallorcan wild goat to round out his presentation here tonight. David Tuttle of Idaho began his quest for an eventual Capra Super 20 in a somewhat unusual way by taking a Dagestan Eastern Tur in Azerbaijan back in July 1998. In 2009, David traveled to Spain where he collected his Mallorcan wild goat. The Vulcan chamois was next for David, and he took it in Macedonia in November 2010. David made his way back to Macedonia once more the following year and connected on a Kri-Kri ibex. He reached number 20 on the Capra list while on a hunt in Mongolia in August 2022, where he got both the Gobi and Altai ibex. We're pleased to recognize Matt Ward of California for reaching number 20 on the Capra list, and we'll start with his Sind ibex from Pakistan, taken in March 2011. Moving along, Matt connected on the Dagestan Eastern Tur in Azerbaijan in 2012, and he was successful in taking a Kri-Kri hybrid ibex in Greece in October 2018. Speaking of ibex, Matt has several, including the newly recognized Premier ibex from Tajikistan, which he got back in 2019. We'll finish up with Matt's for coarse chamois from France, taken in 2021. That completes this group. Now for the Capra Super 30 recipients. It was a premier ibex from Tajikistan taken in March 2023 that earned John Amistoso of Washington the Capra Super 30 milestone. John has taken 4 of the markhor subspecies, including the Kashmir, which he got in 2014, and Astor markhor from 2019, both taken in Pakistan. John has both ibex found in Mongolia, and we chose the Gobi ibex to represent those. John traveled to France to get his Pyrenean chamois, and we'll finish up by showing you his Nubian ibex from Sudan, which he got in April of 2021. Florida's Lee Anderson achieved his Capra Super 30 in October 2023 with a Bukodan markhor from Uzbekistan. Lee took an American mountain goat in Alaska back in 1997, and in March 2010, he added 2 additional markhor to his Capra list, the Kashmir and Suleiman. Lee has taken all the chamois subspecies, and we chose his Caucasian chamois from Russia and the Carpathian chamois from Romania to represent those. Wrapping up, you see Lee with his mid-Asian ibex from Kyrgyzstan, which he got in October 2022. We're pleased to recognize Brian Harlan of Texas for reaching number 30 on the Capra list, and he has some impressive trophies to his credit. First, you see Brian's Gritos ibex from Spain and his Alpine ibex from Switzerland, both taken in 2016. Brian has 4 of the world's Markhor. He chose his Astor, taken in 2019, and impressive Kashmir Markhor from 2021, both taken in Pakistan to represent those. He hunted in Russia in August 2021 to get his Kuban Western Tour, and we round out his Capra Super 30 presentation with the Anatolian Chamois from Turkey that he took in December 2021. We now call Charles Heron of Alabama to the stage to receive his Capra Super 30. We'll begin his presentation with the Persian Desert Ibex from Iran that Charles took in March of 2018. Charles did a tremendous amount of hunting in 2023, starting with his Vercors Chamois from France, taken in March. In October, he traveled to Greece to get the Cricri Hybrid Ibex, and that same month, Charles scored on a Carpathian Chamois in Romania. His Bizor Hybrid Ibex from Turkey was taken in November 2023, and he finished his Capra Super 30 with an incredible Bukodon Markhor from Tajikistan in November 2023. Amazingly, it took Alexei Kim of Russia just 5 years from start to finish for him to achieve the Capra Super 30. The first few trophies we chose to highlight were all taken in 2018. We saw his Himalayan Tar from Nepal first, then his Cricri Ibex from Greece. Alexei hunted in his home country of Russia to get the Mid-Caucasian Tour, and he traveled to Iran that same year and scored on the Persian Desert Ibex. He has all 4 Ibex and 2 Chamois from Spain, and yes, he got all of those in 2018 as well as including his impressive Ronda Ibex. We finish up with Alexei's Vercors Chamois from France, which he got in 2021. It was a Himalayan Ibex from Pakistan taken in January 2022 that earned Jan Knudsen of Denmark the Capra Super 30. Backing up, Jan traveled to Azerbaijan in 2007 to get his Dagestan Eastern Tour. He took an impressive pair of Bisadi Ibex on a hunt in Spain in 2011, and he hunted in British Columbia in September 2012 to get his American Mountain Goat. As for Chamois, he has all of those, including the Low Tatra Chamois from Slovakia. Finally, you see Yen with his Sind Ibex from Pakistan, which he took back in January of 2022. Alejandro Reyes of Mexico reached number 30 on the Capra list just a few weeks ago when he took a Bukodon Ibex in Tajikistan. Backing up to the early 2000s, you see Alejandro with his American Mountain Goat from British Columbia taken in 2005. Moving along, Alejandro has all 3 tours found in the Caucasus Mountains, and we chose his Mid-Caucasian to represent those. Next, you see the Altai Ibex from Mongolia, which he got in 2011, and his Bisadi Ibex from Spain, taken in 2017. We'll finish up with Alejandro's Vercors Chamois from France, taken in 2023. We're pleased to recognize Gerald Warnock of Oregon for achieving his Capra Super 30 milestone. Gerald's been hunting the world's mountain game for nearly 60 years. He traveled to New Zealand in 1983 and took a pair of Chamois. In 1989, he was able to get the highly desirable Nubian Ibex from Sudan in northern Africa. He got his Southeastern Ibex in Spain in 1993, and in 1999, he hunted in Switzerland to get the Alpine Chamois and Ibex. Moving closer to the present, Gerald added a Chartreuse Chamois from France to his Capra list in 2023, and he reached number 30 in 2023 with a Bukodon Markhor from Tajikistan. To date, there have been only 7 individuals to reach the Capra Super 40, and we have 2 of those hunters to recognize here tonight. It was a Vercors Chamois from France taken in October 2021 that earned Alexander Egorov of Russia the Capra Super 40. Backing up, you see Alexander with his Altai Ibex from Mongolia taken in 2010. In 2012, Alexander got an Alpine Chamois from Slovenia to his Capra list, and the following year he traveled to Spain to take all 4 Ibex found there, including this Gridos. Moving along, Alexander connected on an impressive Bizor Ibex in Turkey back in 2015, and that same year he traveled to Pakistan, where he took his first of 4 Markhor, the Suleiman. GSCO board member Brian Houck of Alberta has obviously done a tremendous amount of climbing in pursuit of the world's Capra trophies. One of his earliest Capra entries was an American Mountain Goat from BC taken in 2011, which you saw first. Next up was Brian's Alpine Ibex from Switzerland from 2014. Brian hunted in Pakistan in 2016 to get his Sind Ibex, and we chose one of his 4 Markhor, the Suleiman, to show next. He took it on a hunt in Pakistan in 2018, and moving along, Brian traveled to Romania in 2021 to get his Carpathian chamois, and he reached number 40 on the Capra list in April 2023 when he took a Himalayan tar in Nepal. That completes all of our Capra awards for this evening. Let's give them all one more big round of applause.